Hare Krishna. So this is a song from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's composition. His collection of songs called Sharanagati. And this particular song is Manasa Deho Geho. Manasa is mind, Deha is body, Geha means house. So, how to offer surrender is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is discussing here. So, how many of you have not heard or sung this song before? Manasa Deho Geho, Kichu Mor, everyone has heard? Not heard yet? Okay. Singapore, you all sing these songs, Vaishnava songs? What songs? Please sing. Manasa Deho Geho, Kichu Mor, Arpilum Tuva Pade, Nanda Kishore. Manasa Deho Geho, Kichu Mor, Arpilum Tuva Pade, Manasa Deho Geho, Kichu Mor, Arpilon Tuva Pade, Nanda Kishore. Manasa Deho Geho, Kichu Mor, Arpilon Tuva Pade, Nanda Kishore. Sampade Vipade Jivane Marane, Sampade Vipade Jivane Marane, Sampade Vipade Jivane Marane, Sampade Vipade Jivane Marane, Dai Mama Gela Tua Opadavarane, 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 मारो भी राखो भी जो इच्छा तोहार, मारो भी राखो भी जो इच्छा तुम्हार, मारो भी राखो भी जो इच्छा तोहार, मारो भी राखो भी जो इच्छा तुम्हार, नित्य दास प्रति तुवा अधिकार, 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 जन्म भी मोए इच्छा यदि तो, 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 भक्त गृहे जने जन्म हो मोर, भक्त गृहे गृहे जने जन्म हो मोर
भक्त गृहे जने जन्म हो
कीट जन्म हो यथा तुवा दास
कीट जन्म हो यथा तुवा दास
बहि कीट जन्म हो यथा तुवा दास कीट जन्म हो
यथा तुवा दास
बहिर्मुख ब्रह्म जन्मे नाही आश
बहिर्मुख ब्रह्म जन्मे नाही आश
बहिर्मुख जन्म ब्रह्म जन्मे नाही आस
बहिर्मुख ब्रह्म जन्मे नाही आस
भुक्ति मुक्ति स्पृहा विहीन जे भक्ता
भुक्ति मुक्ति स्पृहा विहीन जे भक्ता
भुक्ति मुक्ति स्पृहा विहीन ये भक्ता
भुक्ति मुक्ति स्पृहा विहीन जे भक्ता
लोभाइते ताको संग अनुरक्ता
लोभाइते ताको संग अनुरक्ता
लोभाइते ताको संग अनुरक्ता
लोभाइते ताको संग अनुरक्ता
जनक जननी दहिता तो नाय
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 प्रभु गुरुपति तुह सर्वमय
प्रभु गुरुपति तुह सर्वमय
प्रभु गुरुपति तुह सर्वमय
प्रभु गुरुपति तुह सर्वमय
भक्ति विनोद कहे सुनो काना
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 राधा नाथ तुह हमर प्राण
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 मानस देहो गेहो जो किछु मोर
मानस देहो गेहो जो किछु मोर
अर्पिलुं तुवा पदे नंद किशोर
अर्पिलुं तुवा पदे नंद किशोर
हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So the translation: mind, body and family, whatever may be mine, I have surrendered at your lotus feet, O youthful son of Nanda. Manasa Deho Geho Jo Kichu Mor Arpilun Tua Pade Nanda Kishore. Nanda Kishore, as you know, is Krishna. Nanda refers to Nanda Maharaj. Kishore refers to his youthful son, Krishna. He is also called Nanda Kumar. He is called Nanda Kishore as well. Kumar, Kishore, they refer to different ages. Any of you know the ages, the groupings of age? What are the terms used? Balya, Pauganda, Kaishore, Yauvan. Balya is also called Kaumar. So either Kaumar or Balya, that is from birth till the 5th year. Today also you were reading Krishna book. Who was reading your readings? This he mentions Prabhupada's purport. So Kaumara is till the age of 5. So when you say Nanda Kumar, you refer to the Kumar or the son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, but specifically it may also refer to the son of Nanda when he is in that age of Nanda Kumar, Kumar age or Kaumar age. Then there is Pauganda, which is from the age of 6 to the 10th year. And then from the 11th year onwards, it is the Kaishor Avastha. Kishore is one who is adolescent, pre-youth. Prabhupada also translates as pre-youth. So till the 15th year, it is called Kaishor. The stage of being Kishore is called Kaishor. So the feminine is Kishori. Now why is Krishna called Kishore and Radharani called Kishori? There is a temple in USA also, Kishori Kishore, Chicago, Kishori Kishore. Huh?
Because they never cross that age.
Because they never cross that age. Excellent. So what does it mean?
So Lord is ever youthful.
Huh?
Both are ever youthful.
Both are ever youthful. So what is the purport to the statement that they never cross this age? What is the purport to that? They always remain at that age. Where? Where? But there, when he is born here, he is Balya, then Pauganda, then Kaishora. So he is not always Kaishor here, no? You said, so where is he always Kaishor? Which Vrindavan? There are two Vrindavans, although they are identical, but still they are two. Which two? No. One is Bhauma Vrindavan. Whatever Vrindavan is manifested in the Bhumi, it's called Bhauma Vrindavan, where Krishna appears and performs his Leelas. It's called Prakat Leela, the manifest Leela. And the other Vrindavan is in the spiritual world, and that is called Paravyoma Vrindavan. Para means transcendental or spiritual, and Vyoma means, what does Vyoma means? Sky. So the spiritual sky, Paravyoma Vrindavan. When Srila Prabhupada was talking to the devotees in America in the early days of the movement, in the 60s, most of them were living in the temple. Practically 95 to 99% were all living in the temple. Gradually, they started moving out. Especially the Grihasthas, it was difficult to manage everything inside. So how will the Grihasthas maintain themselves? So one of the things he suggested was that you make and sell
Incense.
agarbattis, incense. And he named it as spiritual sky incense, Paravyoma. So there is a spiritual sky beyond this material sky. So Paravyoma Vrindavan is in the spiritual sky, and Bhauma Vrindavan is on the earth. So are the two the same, or are they different? Think carefully.
One is on top, other one is on top.
Still.
Slight different in the Leela.
Slight in what way?
Krishna is born here but not born there.
There he stays ever youthful, the age of 16.
Correct. So, Srila Prabhupada mentions at many places, and this is an important philosophical point that we must know, that the Bhauma Vrindavan is completely non-different from the Paravyoma Vrindavan. Identical. Srila Prabhupada uses the word facsimile. Facsimile is the original word for fax. You know fax copy, right? You make a copy, put in the machine, a fax copy is sent somewhere else. So the word fax comes from facsimile, which means an identical replica. So Prabhupada says that the Vrindavan that manifests on earth is identical to the Vrindavan that is in the spiritual world. So it is identical in the sense that both are directly spiritual, both are directly the homes of Krishna and his associates of Paravyoma Vrindavan. So in that sense it is identical, and it is even an offense to think that it is not. It is an offense against the Dham also to understand, to think that this Vrindavan is a mundane place. That is offensive. But still there is some difference. So what are the differences? Differences at a transcendental level. One difference is that there are certain pastimes that are performed over here which are not actually performed there, but there is a sense that these pastimes are happening or have happened. For example, in Mathura, Krishna comes and kills Kamsa. So there is Mathura in the spiritual world also, just like there is Bhauma Vrindavan and Paravyoma Vrindavan. There is also Bhauma Mathura and Paravyoma Mathura. There is Bhauma Dwarka and Paravyoma Dwarka. So then, what happens? No Kamsa there in the spiritual world? Is Kamsa there in the spiritual world?
No.
Why?
There is no demon.
Huh? Because there are no demons there. No? Only pure devotees will live there. But still, to get that flavor, that ras, that feeling, so Brajavasis, they feel, who live in Mathura rather, the Mathura Vasis feel that Krishna had killed Kamsa already.
Okay.
That feeling is there in everybody, that Krishna has already killed Kamsa in Mathura. In Paravyom Vrindavan. They have that feeling. So sometimes a rumor also comes in Vrindavan, Paravyom Vrindavan, that the demons are coming, the demons are coming. Some feeling, just to give that sense, that excitement. But actually the demons don't come because there are no demons in the spiritual world. So therefore these pastimes happen here in prakat form, in manifest form, in Bhauma Vrindavan. But there, they may happen, if at all, only in terms of the bhav, or the feeling that something like that has happened in the past, or the fear that something may happen like this in the future. So, the reason that the asuras do not actually get killed in Vrindavan, Paravyoma Vrindavan, is that there in the spiritual world only pure devotees reside. So you cannot be a demon and be in Goloka Vrindavan. And also there are some other pastimes. So we come to the second point, the second difference. The second difference is that in the spiritual world, Paravyoma Vrindavan, Krishna is eternally Kishore. He doesn't go through the Prakat Leela of being Balya, the Janma, then the Balya, Pauganda, and then reaching Kishore. That doesn't happen. Although the devotees in Goloka may have the sense that Krishna was born, that Krishna did grow up, Krishna went through Pauganda. That feeling may be there, that Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maya may feel like that. But in prakat form, in manifest form, it usually doesn't happen. But that happens here, in prakat form. So therefore Krishna is called Nitya Kishore. One, because in the Paravyoma Vrindavan, he is always a Kishore. Similarly, Srimati Radharani is always a Kishori. Right? So that is the eternal position or the situation in Paravyoma Vrindavan. But in Bhauma Vrindavan, Krishna goes through the Janma Leela, Balya or Kaumara Leela, Pauganda Leela, and then he comes to Kishore. And after he comes to the stage of Kaishore or becoming Kishore, then he doesn't grow after that because he has reached his eternal situation that is there in Paravyoma Vrindavan. Then after that, he remains youthful boy, like a youthful boy, all throughout. He may look like he is like a young boy, maybe a little older than Kishore. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra also, he looked like a young boy, 15 years old. That's Kaishore, pre-youth. And from 15, then the Yovana starts, youth. So these are the different stages. So Krishna is Yovana in the sense that he is youthful as a general term, but actually he never goes beyond Kishore. So when we say, therefore, Nanda Kishore is used here, it can refer to specifically the stage of pastimes in Krishna's Leela, where he is in the Kishore Avastha, or the stage of adolescence, or puberty sometimes it is called, or pre-youth. So this is how Krishna goes through these pastimes. So that is why the material world is so important. It is not only from the point of view of the jivas, it is also from the point of view of Krishna's pastimes. Because in manifest form or prakat form, he is able to do pastimes here, which in the Paravyoma Vrindavan are existing only in some kind of thought or feeling. But here they are actually happening. Of course, because the spiritual world is absolute, so the feeling is also as good as the event actually happening. Because everything is absolute there. Here there is a difference between feeling and happening. My feeling I am a billionaire doesn't translate in reality. In reality I am not a billionaire. So I may feel something, but it may not be the reality. But in the spiritual platform, the feeling and the reality is the same. So in that sense, you could say that yes, these things also happened there, but in a slightly different sense. So Nanda Kishore refers to that Krishna who is in the adolescent stage. So either in Bhauma Vrindavan refers to when Krishna comes to that stage, or in the Paravyoma in his eternal stage. So that is the most worshipable form for us of Krishna. Because at this stage, he has reached the peak of all his beauty, the peak of all his good qualities, his transcendental qualities. Of course, he remains strong from the time he is born to the time he is a youth. But in terms of beauty, he is always transcendently beautiful, even as a baby, or as a Paugand, as a boy, and also as a Kishore, as a pre-youth. But his youth, his beauty has reached its ultimate perfection in Kishore stage. So for the devotees of Vrindavan, they always worship Krishna. They prefer to worship Krishna in Kaishore Roop. There are others who prefer the Vatsalya Bhav, who will prefer him as a child. So they will worship Laddu Gopal, like the Pushti Margis do, like that. So all the pastimes are worshipable, and definitely we should hear and think about and recite all these pastimes. But specifically, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers focus on the Kaishora Roop. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, therefore, he is focusing on this particular form, and he is saying to Krishna, O Nanda Kishore, O the youthful son of Nanda Maharaj, Manasa Deho Geho Kichu Mor. Kichu means whatever is mine, whether it is my mind, Manasa, my body, Deha, or my family, Geha, or my home. Arpilun tuva pade. I am offering this, whatever I have, I am now offering to you, to your feet, the lotus feet. So this is one of the symptoms of surrender. So surrender is a process of restoring reality. In what sense? Till such time as we surrender, we think that all these things are ours, which is not a reality. Is my body mine? Is my wealth mine? Is my family mine? Is my house mine? Is my car mine? Ultimately, everything belongs to Krishna. So when we surrender, what are we doing? We are actually surrendering the false consciousness of being the owner and the proprietor and the master and controller and enjoyer of all of these things. That is what surrender really means. We get restored to the original real consciousness that none of these things belong to me, all are Krishna's property and they are only meant for Krishna's pleasure and his service. So therefore, right in the beginning, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is making that clear. That, oh Nanda Kishore, none of these things belong to me. They all belong to you. Therefore, I am offering what belongs to you back to you. So in one sense, there is no concept of renunciation. You can only renounce what you have. You can't renounce what doesn't belong to you. Right? What car do you have, Abhishek? Brezza. So suppose I come to your house, I look at the car and say, I renounce this Brezza car. Yes? So Abhishek will think, what is the meaning? It's not yours that you can renounce. Hey, how can you renounce my car? Right? What meaning does it have? When I go and renounce something that belongs to you, does it belong to me? So you can say, I renounce this Brezza car, but I can't say that because it doesn't belong to me. In the higher scheme of things, the Brezza doesn't even belong to, it belongs to Krishna. So the point is that renunciation also is meaningless unless we have surrendered. So real renunciation means to give up the false sense of ownership and enjoyership. That is what surrender means. Sharanagati is what? A restoration to our original state of consciousness or a restoration to the original reality, which is that nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to Krishna and it is for his pleasure alone. So therefore, my dear Krishna, in recognition of this reality, of the truth, that all these things belong to you, I am offering them to you. In the same spirit that a worshipper of the Ganga, when he stands in the Ganga river and he wants to worship Ganga, he offers the water of the Ganga back to the Ganga. One who worships the sun, he offers arati maybe to the sun, a lamp to the sun, but the lamp is also ultimately emanating from the energy of the sun. If you go back, how has the flame come? That energy is ultimately coming from the sun. So you're offering what belongs to the sun back to the sun. You're offering the Ganga water back to the Ganga. So similarly, we are offering whatever is Krishna's property, which is everything, back to Krishna. So this mentality is called surrender. Giving up the false conceptions is surrender. So here what is he offering? Manasa, mind. Second, Deha. Third, Geha. So then, if it belongs to Krishna, why should I look after it? So suppose as a householder, you say now, since it's Krishna's family, so then I won't look after it. Then let the family, what Krishna look after the family, let the bills be paid by Krishna. Do you say that? No. So why do you still look after even your own body? Do you say that the body belongs to Krishna, therefore I won't look after it? So what is the logic? Is it a contradiction? that all these things belong to Krishna, then why should I not just leave it to Krishna to be looked after? Why should I look after? What's the answer?
Krishna has given us that role to perform.
Krishna has given us that role to perform. What is that role?
You are trustee.
As a trustee, as a delegated owner. I'm not the true owner, real owner, but I have been given responsibility for looking after these things in the service of Krishna, like a trustee, correctly said. The trustee controls the property, but he is expected to do it in a way that is meant to achieve the objects of the trust. Whoever is the beneficiary of the trustee must work for that purpose only. If the trustee utilizes the property of the trust for something other than the purpose for which the trust was established, he takes away some money, uses for himself, then that is a misappropriation. It is considered a crime. So similarly, we are trustees. So to use things without the permission of Krishna and not for the service of Krishna is considered a crime from a spiritual point of view. But we all have the quotas. So even the trustee, he gets some benefit. He may utilize the trust car to go somewhere to fulfill the trust purposes. Or let's say an employee in an office is a manager. Now he has an office. The office doesn't belong to him. But the company has given him that office to use for the service of the company. So even though the office room doesn't belong to the manager, but nobody else can come and say, I will sit in this room. Because that has been given by the company to him to use. So for the time being, at that level, he is the owner. No other person in the office can say, I have decided to use this, unless he is the authority. So similarly, even though my body, my family, my house, my car, everything belongs to Krishna, but I have received it as my quota. Ishopanishad, Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam, Yat Kincham Jagatyam Jagat, Tena Tektena Bhunjitha, Ma Gridaha Kasya Svithanam. So even though it's Krishna's property, but I have received it as my quota. I have been delegated this responsibility to not only protect this, but also utilize it and enjoy it in that limited sense. And then to use it for Krishna's service. So therefore, when we talk of surrender, we have to talk of all these ideas, these concepts of renunciation, the concept of ownership, the concept of enjoyership. All these things come when we talk of surrender. So we have to look after a body because the body is an instrument to serve Krishna. It is Krishna's property, but we have to use it for Krishna's service, therefore we have to keep it well. Sampade vipade jivane marane daye namagela tuva opada bharane. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Sampad and Vipad. What does it mean?
Sampad means an abundance.
Yeah.
Abundance of facilities. Vipada means your problems and catastrophe.
And Vipad means?
Vipada is catastrophe.
Yes, when there are difficulties. Padam padam yat vipadam. Na tesham, right? Bhagavatam says. Padam padam yat vipadam. Vipada means some calamity, some difficulty, like that. And Sampada means?
There's abundance of everything.
Abundance of everything, of wealth, etc. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, whether in a state of abundant wealth and prosperity, or whether in a state of being totally deprived of these things, Jivane Marane, whether in the state where I am alive, or in the state of death. So I am totally dedicated to you. So everything is being offered to you in all conditions, in all situations. So surrender, the second point now that in the second verse is that surrender is unconditional and it applies in all times, places and circumstances. So he says that whatever I have, all my difficulties, all my happiness, all my so-called prosperity have all disappeared at the shelter of your lotus feet. This is the benefit of being surrendered. When you don't have any further anxiety. मारो भी राखो भी जो इच्छा तोहार नित्य दास प्रति तुआ अधिकार. So this is also surrender. You can do what you like with me, my dear Lord. Jo ichha tohar, whatever is your desire, nitya das tua prati adhikar. Because I am your nitya das, I am your eternal servant. Therefore you can do with me as you please. Maro bhi, rakho bhi. You may kill me, you may keep me alive. Tua adhikar, that is your right. Because you are the eternal master and I am the eternal servant. So this is also another important facet of surrendering. That the process of surrender is not a process of seeking justice and demanding justice. Why is this happening to me? I have done so much service to you, oh Lord, and now you are taking away all my happiness and you are taking away my wealth. So this is not justice, it is not fair. You can't do this to me, it's not proper, it's not done. So no, Krishna is not the justice department. So a surrendered devotee will not go and demand, although sometimes in rasa these things happen. That Krishna will chastise the Lord, that I have done so much for you and look what you have done for me. That is a bhava, it's a rasa. Ultimately the devotee is surrendered to whatever Krishna says and does. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur elsewhere has also said about Krishna keeping us or killing us. Yes? Huh? No. Rakshishyati iti vishwas. Okay, so killing or keeping. Rakhe Krishna, mare ke, mare Krishna, rakhe ke. Jaake rakho saiya, mar sake na koi. Whoever the Lord decides to keep, nobody can kill. But on the other hand, whoever the Lord decides to kill, nobody can keep. As Hiranyakashipu discovered to his sadness and his pain. Yes? But the devotee, like Ambarish, like Prahlad Maharaj, they don't even seek that protection. Although it is not a fault for a pure devotee to seek protection in emergency situations. So in such emergency situations, to ask Krishna for protection is not a fault on one's bhakti. As we know from the discussion of the Anyabhilashita Shunyam verse. So Draupadi called for protection when she was being disrobed. That doesn't mean Draupadi is not a pure devotee. So asking for protection in extreme life-threatening situations is not a flaw. Nevertheless, we also see the examples of great devotees like Prahlad, and Ambarish, who never even asked for protection. When Durvasa Muni brought out a demon from his hair to attack Ambarish Maharaj, Ambarish did not go to the police or the lawyers, or he did not even call out to the Lord, please save me. He said, this is what Krishna wants, so be it. Similarly, Prahlad, his father Hiranyakashipu attempted to kill him in innumerable ways. But Prahlad never once petitioned the Lord, please save me. His was, Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tuhar. You want to kill me? You want to protect me? It's up to you. Because I belong to you, because I am your servant, you are my master, you may do as you please with me. Tua adhikar, it is your right to do whatever you wish with me. Janmaubi moi ichha jadito bhakta grihe jani janma hu mor. So, the devotee in a surrendered state does not demand anything from Krishna. He does not even demand or seek freedom from the cycle of birth and death, from punarjanma. So therefore he says that janmaubi moi ichha jaditor, oh my Lord, if you want me to be born again, so he's making that statement, if you wish me to be born, I'm willing for it. So he doesn't say, don't make sure please that I am not born again. He doesn't impose conditions. If you want me to be born again and again and again, so be it, if that is your desire. Janmaubi moi ichha jadito. If you wish me to be reborn again, my only request, my dear Lord, is that give me a certain kind of birth. He doesn't ask for a birth in the Ambani family or in some such opulent or materially favorable situation. What does he say? Bhakta grihe jani janma hu mor. Jana refers to the person. So in the house of a bhakta, let my birth happen there. That is the only request I have. I am not imposing anything on you. Even this is a request. But if you want me to take birth, let it be in the house of a devotee. Bhukti mukti spriha vihina je bhakta kita janma hu yatha tuva das bahirmukha brahma janma janme nahi as. I would prefer the birth as a kita. Kita means a small insect, right? I would prefer, even if I am born I don't mind being born as a worm so long as I'm a devotee worm. But I would not like to be a non-devotee Brahma. What is a worm compared to Brahma? Brahma is the topmost being in the whole universe. The first Brahmana, the first Guru. He is the first disciple, the most intelligent being. He is made of pure intelligence. So what is Brahma compared to a kita or an insect? But Bhaktivinoda Thakur is setting the standard that if I have to be born again, I don't mind being born as a worm even. Okay, if you think being born in a devotee family is too high, then let me be born as a worm, no problem. But let me be a devotee worm. I would prefer that to be born as a non-devotee Brahma. Our Brahma is a devotee. So no problem. But in some universes, some Brahmas may not be devotees. So he says, I don't want to be a non-devotee Brahma living for trillions of years. I want to be a devotee worm. Bhukti mukti spriha vihina je bhakta labhaite tako sanga anurakta. Very beautiful point. So, je bhakta, that devotee who is vihina, without, spriha, the desire for what? Bhukti and mukti. Bhukti means enjoyment. Mukti means liberation. So that devotee who is without any desire for enjoyment or liberation, labhaite tako sanga anurakta. I only want the association of such a great, deep devotee. I am only attached to the company of such great devotees. This is surrender. So we can't say I am surrendered to Krishna, I am also surrendered, but I seek association in non-devotees. Then how can I be surrendered? What is the definition of surrender according to Hari Bhakti Vilas and Chaitanya Charitamrita? 6 points.
अनुकूलस्य संकल्प प्रतिकूलस्य वर्जनम शक्ति विश्वासो वर्णम तथा आत्मनिक्षेप कार्पण्यो षड्विधा शरणागति.
Okay, very nice. षड्विधा Sharanagati. So the 6 limbs of surrender. So what is the first one?
Accepting things which are
Anukulyasya sankalpaha means?
Accepting things which are favorable for executing against Krishna consciousness.
Yes, accepting things which are favorable for devotional service to Lord Krishna. Accepting them how? Just merely accepting them? What does the word sankalpa mean? Sankalpa, firm. Sankalpa is a firm acceptance or rejection. It's a firm decision. We take a sankalp to do something. We make a very determined desire to do something. So it's not just acceptance. It is determined acceptance. Of what? Of anything and everything that is favorable to the discharge of devotional service to Krishna. So if one is truly surrendered, then that person must have this one quality at the very least. But it is not sufficient. He must also have the second quality and indeed all the other qualities. What is the second quality? Pratikulasya varjanam. What is the meaning of that? So we have to give up varjanam. We reject that which is pratikul, the opposite of anukul. Anukul is favorable. Pratikul is unfavorable. So, one who has given up or who gives up to the same degree of firmness those things which are unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. Second symptom of surrender. Third, Rakshishyati iti vishwaso. What does it mean?
The full confidence that he will protect me in whatever circumstance.
Correct. Full confidence that Krishna will protect me. Rakshishyati iti vishwaso. The firm belief or faith that Krishna will protect me. But suppose Krishna doesn't?
That is what it was.
That is also protection. Sure.
Yes.
As you said, Rakshito Maru.
Yes.
So whatever is good for me.
So protection ultimately means protection of one's consciousness, not merely of the body, because the body anyway will be destroyed at some point in time, if not today, then tomorrow. So that when we say the devotee is surrendered and is confident of Krishna's protection, then he is confident that Krishna will protect his consciousness, provided he is doing the things that he is expected to do. And sometimes Krishna may also protect the body. Many times Krishna will do that. Because we say Marobi Rakhobi, it doesn't mean that every time Krishna will kill the body. There are many occasions when he will protect the body, like he did for Pallakad, like he did for Ambarish Maharaj. So therefore, Rakshishyati iti Vishwaso means that he has full confidence in the protection of Krishna. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said. So the concept of protection has to be properly understood. That is why I've come here to this clinic.
Want to take rest?
No. So what is the next symptom of surrender? Goptritve Varanam. What is the meaning of that?
So maintain whatever I need. Master,
Guardian.
guide.
The word gop is the verbal root indicates
Senses. Senses.
yes, also to maintain. Goptritve Varanam. So what does Goptritve Varanam mean ultimately?
Even whatever is needed for my consciousness, he will.
Whatever is needed for my maintenance, for my livelihood, for my life, he will provide. Goptritve Varanam. Tatha means and. And then finally, Atmanikshepa, and there are two. Atmanikshepa, Karpanyam. What is Atmanikshepa?
Full surrender.
Self-surrender.
Self-surrender, which means what? To understand, as Prabhupada says in one place, to understand that I can desire whatever I like, but I am dependent on Krishna for the fulfillment of those desires. To understand that I am not independent, I am forever dependent on Krishna. And
always see the interest of Krishna.
Always see the interest of Krishna, but also that Krishna will, ultimately I am dependent on Krishna for the fulfillment of anything, any of my desires. I am not independent. So Krishna will fulfill. So Atmanikshepa, self-surrender, that is what it means. Karpanyam,
Humility.
humility. Kripanata here doesn't mean miserliness. It means to feel oneself very small. In other words, to develop genuine humility. Right? Genuine humility doesn't mean that one should feel proud that one is so humble. See, I am so humble. Then that is not humility. If you are proud that you are so humble, then you are not proud. You are not humble. So that is the most difficult part, to be humble. Even if somebody has done all the other things, given up home, money, everything, the ego is still there. The last thing to go is the ego. Then we want name, fame, prestige, following. Because we think that is, we become proud of our renunciation. We become proud of our devotional accomplishments. We become proud of our learning, of our so many things. So, humility, therefore, kripanata, of feeling oneself as the eternal servant of Krishna and the devotees, that kind of mentality is surrender. Shadvidha Sharanagati.
Rakshishyati Vishwaso and Goptritve look similar.
Bhopatritve refers to your maintenance, your bharan poshan, the maintenance of your life, your basic means of livelihood, your survival. But Rakshashiti refers to your protection.
Times of crisis.
In a time of crisis.
So when we say the protection of consciousness, so whenever there is a situation which is going to corrupt consciousness,
Krishna would protect. And what if Krishna doesn't? Then it's my mistake, not Krishna's mistake. So Krishna is there to protect. But if I don't follow Krishna's word, then the fault is mine, not Krishna's.
But anyway, we don't follow his. Anyway, as a conditioned soul, we are not following it. That's
Yes. So we can't blame Krishna for that. That I am surrendered to Krishna, but still. So the point is that I am not surrendered to Krishna, otherwise I would not be thinking. So surrender also is an ever increasing kind of a mentality. It's not that, okay, now I've surrendered, now I can sit back. The surrender is an ongoing process at every moment. We may be surrendered now, but next moment, what if we give up that surrender? So we have to be continuously surrendered at every moment. Then in the 7th verse he says, Janaka Janani Dayita Tanaya Prabhu Guru Pati Tuhu Sarva Moye. Ki you are my everything, all my relationships you are. Janaka means father, Janani means mother, Dayita means lover, Tanaya means son, Prabhu means master, Guru means guru, Pati means husband, Tuhu Sarva Moy, you are everything to me, all of these you are to me. Bhaktivinoda Kohe. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Suno Kana, okay Kanha, please listen. Radha Nath, O Lord of Radharani, please listen. Tuhu Hamara Parana, you are my life and soul. So in this way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is expressing his spirit of surrender to Radhanath and to Nanda Kishore and to Kana, Krishna. So we have to follow in the footsteps of such great acharyas. We can't imitate, but we can try to follow in the footsteps. Correct? Hare Krishna. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Shyama Sundar ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.